First of all, Pusha, happy to see you today.
Thank you.
I enjoy seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I want to give you my experience. So, of course, you know, Def Jam, good music, was raving about the album. But, you know, I was wondering what I was going to hear. And it took you a while.
Yes.
And I don't want to lie to you before I heard the album. I was concerned.
Okay.
Because it took a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I saw you at the listening party.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get the person's, who's the camera guy? Nunez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I got my invite, which I appreciate it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, you know, I want to be honest. I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I see Nunez post something, the one with Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm backing it up. So I said, this is going on at the party last night? So I skip around and see who else had stuff posted up.
Right.
And I think I might have called Free.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yo, I heard this song, bro. That's on the album. And I was overly impressed by those songs. Then when I didn't get it until the day I was going to play it. He sent it to me, but I listened to it before. And I listen to music first 30 seconds of every song first.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I kind of do, so I'm going through, I'm like, it's hard. I go through again, this is chunky.
Right.
And then I'm thinking you're gonna be like, you know that average you do with a person's album? You start going, oh, it's probably 2 out of 3, right? 3 out of 3.
Right.
Damn, this shit hard too. You know, I'm going through the emotions. And then, you know, even before you got to the song where you were most aggressive, I thought it was amazing, you know, and I've always thought you made good records. I really don't feel like you really put this one together song after song. I was also wondering too, I mean, I like hardcore hip hop.
Right.
So then I was wondering, well, is it just me? And then I saw Puff come up on the gram. He used the key word. This is cold. It's cold. That was a key word. Like cold.
Yo,
like I couldn't.
Puff has been calling me at 5:30, 5 o'clock every morning for like the past 3-4 mornings.
It touches your soul, bro.
He's been hitting me at 5 a.m.
And you know what it is too for it? A person with your talent can easily overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, easily.
Yeah.
It can easily, the verse can go too long.
Yeah.
Or when you're talented. So that was, you know, people, I think sometimes don't understand that the hard part is to a little dumb it down.
Right.
Like, is the hard part. But a great project. Were you surprised by the response, or you always knew what this was?
Well, I definitely knew what it was. I just didn't know how people were going to receive it in regards to just the climate of music. You know, the process usually goes, you know, when you say the album sound real cohesive this time, the process usually goes, you know, I go and get beats from a lot of different producers. I write to those beats. I bring them to Ye. He says, hey, I like that. I don't like that. He gives me a batch of beats. Not all done by him, just, you know, just what he feel fits the mood. Write to those, put them all together, and be like, yo, this is the album. And, you know, he takes away whatever he feels. We did that. We did the whole thing. I'm like, man, I got this album. Like, I feel like I'm ready. I got it. We went to LA. We rode around with it for like 2 days. On the third day, I came back to the office or whatever, and he was like, man, you know, I played it last night, and I just feel like I could produce it better myself.
And how long ago was this?
Bruh, this is, this is, what, 6? Was it a year? I feel like a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like.
So you were set to drop this thing?
Yeah.
A year ago?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For
but
sure.
finished, done?
Yeah.
And none of those songs made this project?
None of them.
Wow.
None of them. He, you know, he I feel like it was a little bit more of a year because I feel like he was going through a lot of stuff too at that time, during this time, right?
I didn't know till today when you told me
Yeah.
he did all the songs.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised because they were dark and thump.
Yeah.
You know, not that he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, look, you know what the climate is in somebody who's had as much success as Kanye had. Is you look for the chinks in the armor.
Well, see, he when it comes to me, and it's like sort of like the gift and the curse. I feel like he only sees me one way.
Okay.
One of his favorite albums is Hell Hath No Fury, me and my brother. So it's like, you know, he's never given me a true legitimate single ever. Like never given me a record with like singing hooks, stuff that I know he knows how to make.
He hears something when he hears you.
Right. He hears something when he hears me. You know,
He wants to be true to it.
right. And he's totally true to it. When people come in, he always plays my music first, usually. And, you know, because he's a fan of hardcore hip hop himself.
Okay.
So I feel like, you know, that's the whole science.
How did you feel when he said he could do a better job after you did all that music? Where were you then? How did you feel?
I was good. Like
Okay
I was cool with it. The biggest thing I was worried about was reaching out to the producers. Like, you know, a lot of things and a lot of producers deal with me on the face. You like, you know, the pause. But they deal with me you know, just face value, like, all right, here, take these, you know.
So some of the songs that you didn't use, who were they produced by? Some of the ones you didn't use. I'm just curious.
Well, you know, I work with the Neptunes for sure.
Okay.
Young producers.
Young producers.
Yeah, young producers.
Okay.
And you know, I don't want to make it sound like, you know, it just wasn't like they weren't hot or anything. I just feel like at that time like I said, a lot was going on with him, and he was like, man, let's go to Utah and do this.
Obviously it worked.
Yeah. Like, you know, it
we're here
was
now.
therapeutic, you know, middle of nowhere. Then we moved it to Wyoming. You know what I'm saying?
Did you record everything there? Was that different for you?
As of late. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. I have absolutely, positively no business in Utah or Wyoming for nothing.
Why did you pick those states?
There's a extremely expensive resort there.
Okay.
In both of those places, same company or whatever, but it's like, you know, one of those things.
So so we only got to 7. How many did you do with Kanye?
I think we were up to about 14. Yeah, about 14.
There's some stuff left.
And yeah, some stuff left. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's another conversation.
Right.
Okay, so then now, so you and him did this album, you recorded it when? Like, is this like last couple months you've been recording?
Yeah, we've been recording the last couple months, but it's in pieces. It's like, you know, I would say over a year and a half's time.
Why only 7 songs?
Because after we found my album, right? We found my album, and then we found my album in Utah. At the same time we found my album, we found Tiana's album. Musically.
Okay.
Once he found Tiana's album, he was like, oh, I'm putting out an album. So it was like,
in the zone.
Yeah, he was in the zone, and he made the decision to do all 5 albums. So
there is a Nas album.
Yes.
And this is a Nas album. Who else?
Tiana, his, Cudi and him, and myself.
I'm very excited. No, it's just him and Cudi?
Him and Cudi collaborative album, yes.
You know, I called Steven and I called Fred. Like, I really want to hear that together.
Yeah.
I want to hear
do.
what they come up with together.
You do.
I'm excited to hear that. The Nas, of course.
You definitely are excited to hear about that. Trust me.
Super excited about the fact that you and Nas, can I tell you, I don't know if I can say it. I heard rumors that you and Nas might tour together.
We talked about it. We talked about it.
Oh, that is
Yeah, yeah.
Have you and him ever? You've never toured.
Never.
There's no video off this project, right?
I just shot one the other day. I shot one
You
over the
see how
weekend.
much noise you're making? There's not even a video.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And listen, mind you, I'm stressed out. I've been stressed out for like a week or so. Like just
You're
because
right.
of the, not having the video. I'm used to like
But you know something?
conventional rollout.
You know what I like about this?
What's that?
I do like you're letting the fans pick it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I do like it. I do like the way it's moving and it coming out, the feel. And I'll tell you something else I like. Even, I like that you had that song last where you addressed everybody. It gave people to really judge the album for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last song you kind of, got to something you want to say,
Right.
which I liked. And then I do like that even with Drake's response, a lot of the kids were still, this is great, and I love Pusha's album. An album can get swallowed in that.
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
For sure.
And then how did these last days go for you? Because did you expect that quick of a response from Drake at all?
I didn't too much think about it. Like I've been like,
Just moving.
yeah, I'm just moving. I mean, I felt like the album, when I started doing the reviews and stuff like that, I was seeing a response from different publications.
So you didn't know before that?
What do you mean?
You didn't know how much the album was touching people.
Right. I didn't know. I mean, I don't play music for anybody. I don't. It was only 7 songs, so I was no single. It was no tester. No none of that. So when I started seeing those responses, I was like, okay, it's a real thing. Like it's a real thing. Like I know it's a real thing, and people are ready for this.
And I've known you a long time, and I've paid attention to the music for a long time. Not just yours, everybody involved. Like,
Right.
I'm unclear on something. I know, was it Exodus?
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of talk there,
Right.
but where did I always felt it was just competitiveness because you're,
Right.
these bars and lyrics.
Right.
It never really felt personal to me. It felt like, oh, well, if that's what y'all consider dope, cool,
Right.
I'm here too.
You were 100%.
That's what I always felt.
That's exactly what it's been.
Now, I remembered recently because somebody posted a clip of me asking Drake about a freestyle you came to do for me. I don't know if you saw it. It just hit this weekend. But you must have freestyled over one of his songs.
Maybe.
And like when you came to see me and somebody had said something. So did you feel like, did your competitiveness you felt bring this energy on, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot. Like, if we're talking about just the history of the beefs,
that's what.
if we talking about that,
And it never felt like beef to me.
no. Yeah. Totally competitive rap. That's
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that what it was for you?
Of course, 100%, 100%. And I'll give you the whole science with that. It started. It was a Cash Money thing. Early, super early.
Before you did, you were on that record. You were on a record.
What happened to that boy?
Yeah, this is before then or after?
Probably soon after then.
Soon after
then. And I mean, it's like super silly.
But with that record, it's all love.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Baby reaches out to you,
Amazing.
put you on the song,
100%.
paid you for the track.
Listen, I don't even know. I don't
Okay,
even know if I got
I mean,
paid, but I probably
loved
wanted
it.
to do it. Yeah,
You
for
loved it.
sure.
Cool. Songs
So-
ripped. It was a huge record.
So we do that or whatever. I remember during this time we were just about to get into some label troubles.
Now this is clips.
Yeah, Clips.
Okay.
We was on Arista, and I remember, that dissolved, turned into Jive, whatever. And at this time, we were wearing Bathing Ape. It was a clothing line, so we're wearing this, or whatever the case may be. We went on hiatus, and Wayne, somebody had began to like. They asked Wayne like, or said something to him about you're taking their style. You're taking their style about drugs, and then you wearing the babe or whatever the case may be. Boom.
Swag.
Yeah, whatever. So he
In an interview.
And then I remember it was an interview. It was like something crazy. It was like, man, I'm on $1 million buses or something. You think I want to be like them? And da, 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 da.
Meanwhile, you and Baby have a very good relationship.
I'm fine with everybody. It was a bit aggressive for me. I'm just like, whoa, like I know how to talk. Mm-hmm. Like I know how to talk to people. Like I don't be high, drunk. Like I know how to like. And I'm going through something.
Your label situation.
Yeah, I was on hiatus for 4 years.
And you was on a record where campus kind of should be loved.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Did you and him ever have a chance to talk about that at all?
No.
It's competitive now.
Yeah, it's just competitive.
Right
Whatever.
now, we're going to... Did that turn on your competitive light?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
From that point on. And
right. And just competitive. I'm not good with time.
In the competitive state, you are now in competitive mode to let people know what you mean out here bar-wise.
Right, that's it.
And then, so now you don't see him. And so you just continue being you.
That's it.
Okay, so then when did this take a place? Because there was a time where I remember Wayne saying, like, fuck Pusha T and whoever, his fans or whatever. This is, is this after Exodus? Because my timeline
that came immediately after Exodus dropped.
All right. So then now, you move on.
Yeah.
Now, the clip that I saw where I was speaking to Drake, he was definitely saying how much he was a fan of the clips. Yeah. He had said, that he was confused, and he said that he did mention about maybe you being more direct. This had to be like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. So you and him is really just because he's in the camp.
Right.
It's not. It never like y'all never really bumped. No. It's just because he's in the camp.
Yeah. No. Nothing. No nothing.
You know you bodied Wayne on that record, right? You know what you did to him.
Yeah, of course.
Was that what you were going for?
It's just how I see it.
Because whenever you mention an artist can't stop and their money ain't right, like those are like.
It's a thing. That's what you call a thing.
And listen, I'm a Wayne fan, so I don't want to, but I feel like he needs to respond to that. I feel like there should be. Do you expect a response?
No, man. Like for what? I'm not. Come on, man. Like, yo.
He said, no, I don't even think. All right. Bro. So now, is this the first time you and Drake exchanged shots?
Right here?
Yeah, right here.
No, nah, man. Like, coming to good music.
You felt there was something before this.
Yeah, coming to good music, right? I feel like when I got there, there were a few things that also happened. Like, I remember a Birdman interview, and he was like, "Man, ain't nobody on good music but Kanye anyway. Like, he ain't nothing. That ain't nothing." No. He was just talking about, how I guess great they were. But in his, again, you don't know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? And within that, you say things like, well,
I would have taken it the same way.
Yeah, you only got Kanye, and that's it. And whatever. And
so nigga, let me show you what's out here.
Right, and
lyrically.
So there go. I remember that one specifically because that was New God Flow. Okay. So, man, I'm missing so many because it was so many just little different barbs, songs, back and forth. I remember.
And if you do that type of talk, you got to be ready for bar work.
Right. Then I remember. What do you call it? Was it I'm on one? Yeah, for sure. I'm on one. It was like, shooting it shine. Like it was just a lot of weird things going on, and I'm just like, man, I'm new, I'm over here. I'm like, man, I got a brand myself. Like, I also have a brand with, like,
You're
people
known for
respect
bars.
me.
You're
Yeah,
known
people
for bars.
respect
You know
me.
that
And
you can handle your business on that microphone.
your boss talk and you or your boss. Like, bro, all right, man.
So
Cool.
it's gonna happen.
So it's just, it's just back and forth. And listen, still competitive.
Correct.
Still cool. No, it's whatever.
Running
man.
into each other, it's all good.
Yeah, oh yeah. Nothing. Stay in the Four Seasons Toronto, see them in the same elevator. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. But
You went hard on that song, though, on this.
yeah, man, because I feel like lines would like just cross. Like,
it gave me a chill. That's what you were going for.
yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like lines will cross, and I don't like. Mind you, this is my album release week. Like, I'm like, bro, I got like they call it a classic masterpiece. Feeling
amazing.
I would much rather be on my, on my thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
I think if I was, because I'm a competitive person, so I
Right.
was looking at the outside. I felt like he had to be concerned, even in how he was going to respond in the response you were getting for the album.
well, this is what I'm now.
That was making him strong.
Let me tell you what I feel. Like, I feel like that response, honestly, not even more so for that song, because you had the two birds, one stone. You shooting me and Cuddy, boom boom, chilling. All right, cool, boom. I get to it, and for real, I'm a whole lot. Get it when I get to it. Like, I don't have like the luxury. I don't have like a full in-house production team. I don't have all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it when I gotta tuck hold when it's time.
You put it the right time.
Right. So it's like, but that's what I feel like the issue was with my album with Infrared coming out.
Got you.
I feel like
Let
it's
me
a
throw
real
this shot.
Right.
Take the light off.
Yeah, because it's a real estate issue.
But he had, my brother, if he would have went 6-7 more hours with not responding to the way you hit those guys.
But and listen, I feel like it wasn't even that was me talking, and I feel like I was light. Like, I wasn't.
It was light.
No, listen, it was light, and it spoke to something. It was old. People know what it is. Like, like.
But in this day and age, it meant I want 100% smoke.
Okay.
Like, I want smoke. I want it. How you gonna give it? I'm out here. Like, that's what I took it as, and he had to take it as that, and he had to, like, he was boxing a corner.
I feel like that. I definitely
He was
agree
boxing
with
the
you.
corner.
But I also feel like, I do feel like his issue is a real estate issue. It's like, he was dropping his album. It's June. Ye comes out of nowhere. Hey, I'm dropping. I'm dropping 5 in June. Every joint. I'm the only one. I'm the only one in May. And listen, I wanted to be in June. I was like, dang, if I had a little extra week, I'd been good. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I could do a little whatever rollout stuff that happens. But I feel like the real estate got a little weird for him.
And, a lot of things coming.
A lot of things coming. And I'm gonna just be all the way honest with you, like, and not even on no funny nothing. Like, I'm sure he's gonna, put out an album that does numbers and so on and so forth. It wasn't, yeah, great. It was not gonna be better. It's not gonna be better than Daytona. I'm sure it's not gonna be better than like Ye's. No, I'm not. I'm talking about just album for album. Okay. Yeah. I it's a lot of great projects, and I think he likes a clean landscape. He might have thought he was gonna be the only one, and things happen.
When you first heard the response, what went through Pusha's mind? What did you feel? What'd you think?
Why would he say my fiance's name?
I didn't think that was good, bro. Well, see, I'm gonna tell you what it is about women and fiancés and things.
Like, why would you do
I always wonder how it goes after that.
Right.
Because I don't know if it's a low blow. I can't figure out is it when a person, not him, but just saying like when you go after the girlfriends or baby mamas or whatever it might be. I always wonder what that thought is, and no disrespect to Jay, but I think that in the Nas Ether thing, that didn't work for Jay. So I wouldn't say that there's a great track record at saying that type of stuff. Did that catch you off guard, mentioning of...
Listen, I just saw red. That was it. I mean, it was like, okay, cool.
This is where we going.
That's just where we are now. Like, it's weird now. Like, it's been competitive the whole time.
It's competitive weird?
No, it's just weird now. It's not even competitive no more. It's just weird. Like, I don't even care to... Bruh, I'm blackout now.
This response was pretty much a blackout.
I think so.
Do you expect him to respond to this?
I don't know. I don't know, cause to me there are a lot of questions. Like I need to know like because I had after that came I had to be like, okay, wait, who am I dealing with? And then I
Which is crazy.
I had to be like, who am I really dealing with? I had to get into like the real conscience of somebody. Like, okay, wait a minute, let me see what they really on.
You think he wrote it?
No, I never will though. I never will believe anything that.
What is it? Is it the reference tracks that cause you to feel this
Yes.
way?
Yes.
Did you feel that way before the reference tracks? Was that in question to you?
No, I don't just assume you don't.
You just assume he does?
Yeah, just assume everybody just do what they do. Yeah.
So when you heard the reference tracks,
yeah,
were you shocked, surprised?
Yes. Well, let me tell you something. I mean, man, I mean, this is the thing. When it comes to those, I don't feel like that's what's like sort of annoying about this situation, because people nickname the reference tracks. That's like, you don't nickname that. Like, you can't nickname that. Like, listen, I've only heard a few reference tracks in my life. I heard Biggie did Queen Bitch. I heard that.
Kim.
You know what I'm saying? I heard I'm talking about weird, like.
Which was shocking at the time. Like it was.
See, I didn't even look at it like that because it was talk like, yo, there was a track. Even though we kind of knew it. Yeah, like, I mean,
to hear it was a different thing.
Yeah, like I don't even hear things like that. That's the thing. You don't hear that. And then you don't hear, I don't know, man, like to hear it, it was just like, okay, all right, this is, y'all got it. Y'all got it, bro. Like, I can't.
He did address it in his response to you, though. That he's, I thought he was owning up or mentioning that, hey, you guys feel a certain way about me, but with a couple of tracks that, I feel that was the first time he wore it.
Yeah, but no, because my problem is this. What is Kanye West's first passion? What do you know him to be first at anything doing? In what?
I would assume producing.
Oh, you would definitely say producing.
I would, yes.
The world would.
Yes.
The world would. Like, you don't look
That's how he came in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you don't look at him, or you don't look at Dr. Dre and say, you don't do that. So don't start and you don't posture. He doesn't posture as rap god.
No.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's start, like, you gotta call a spade a real spade. That's the problem. Like, that's where it gets all weird and fuzzy and crazy. It's like, man, come on. So
I think he always wanted a piece of Kanye.
100%.
Because I felt like he got to Kanye pretty early in that song.
Yes.
He was maybe 4 bars in.
100%.
Now, but I would understand, it's a huge win for him if he can throw that dagger at Kanye, and maybe because of the way the kids look at a rapper or an artist, like me and you, we know the beats, but sometimes when a young kid just sees the guy behind the microphone, they feel like it's his first thing. And for Drake, look, outside looking in, you're a tough hurdle, bro. Like, like going head up with you, I would be concerned, I think any rapper would be. So I'm sure he's concerned about just being toe to toe with Pusha out here.
I don't even think he thinks like that. I think listen, because for real,
I think he does.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because I'm gonna tell you what I really believe. I believe that he sits right there. He watches cable. I believe there's a huddle of 6 that do what they do. Mm-hmm. They lay it. He goes up there. Boom. They're very calculated individuals. They're very smart.
Clever.
Yeah, man. Like, it's what it is. Like, so that takes me into, like, even you was like, you got 24 hours. Bro, I never have 20.
I did feel that.
Yeah.
I did feel, because he came back so quick.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's like, yo, like, to validate, oh, yo, he came back super quick. And when I know what I know,
I felt he came back quick.
Which is great.
What
I'm
I
telling
felt
you
he
is
came
it'd
back
be great
quick
if
too.
it was real.
Well, I felt he came back quick to dispel any possibilities of you thinking he didn't write it. That's what I thought. I think that if the rumors weren't out there of him not being a writer, he wouldn't have came as quick.
All right, cool.
I'm
never gonna believe it. Like, so we gotta stop trying to impress me, cause I ain't gonna believe it. I'm done.
Well,
I don't want to hear the ad lib. You do the ad lib. So on. Listen,
I was disappointed. You know what, man? Pusha, I was. And you know what? I know that people think sometimes I pick on them or I pick on people who don't write. Because I was a little verbal about Cardi B. I've been a little verbal about Drake. That's me. But I do come from a place that if I'm to believe you, mm-hmm. and because you're on that microphone to try to make us believe you, mm-hmm. More than the next guy. So when I find out something is written, I do get disappointed, mm-hmm. and I think what disappointed me maybe the most was hearing the ad libs and hearing the tone, because then I'm like, this isn't yours, and now I question all the other thoughts that you may have made me believe, and sometimes I feel like I stand on an island by myself, bro. In what I believe in that, because I get so much, hey Flex, you don't understand, or hey Flex, the game has changed, and my only thing is, if you don't write, I just don't want to hear top 5 talk. I feel like people who don't write should coexist.
I feel like that's
and it's
fair.
Cool. Like,
I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's fair. I feel like, again, like I said, it's the posturing. It's the posturing that's like, come on, bro.
That's my thing with everybody, with any artist, because I think hip hop is a competitive sport, unlike R&B. Because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, but in R&B, people write their songs, and some of them may deliver it." Yes, but the 2 R&B guys, they're not really competing for the top slot. Hip hop is created on, if I deliver what I deliver better, I'm above you.
Right.
And I feel like if there's steroids involved in that, then there's a
well, and listen, this is why, even with the track today, Story of Adidan, right? I feel like, it's so much talk of all, they make light of the ghostwriting, right?
Which was never made light before.
Right. Okay, so you make light of that. And the first line is speaking to, like, okay, look, Let's take away all the ghostwriting. Let's take away all the drug talk. You say I'm a fake drug dealer. I say you're using you're not writing. Let's take that away. Leave it be, because I have to conform now. I gotta conform. I have to. Like, nobody cares.
Correct.
No one cares, and I'm gonna just be all the way real. I bop to it all. Cool.
Well, I do think there is a desire with people more than ever, which is why your album is impacting the way it is, of a desire for bars. I do feel like it's been, it's really strong. Maybe the strongest it's been in a long time that people care. And I think it's good. I think it's good for the game. I think it's great. I think it gives you another side. Not you personally, but I think it gives artists. Everybody's not going to have a record that plays on the radio 40 times a day. Right. And there are people who are talented and touch a nerve and, speak about their daily lives, and the kids like it. And I think that it's being appreciated a little better. I really do. So I not just that I hope that it continues, but I think your album wouldn't have been as accepted as strong 5 years ago. I don't think they were ready.
I don't know. I mean, like that's something that remains to be seen. I feel like, me personally, I feel like street hip hop does not go out of style, right? I don't believe that. I don't believe lyric driven fundamentals go out of style. There are people who love to hear the metaphors and put the puzzle together in your raps. You just have to cater to that person. I feel like this is the wildest part. Yeah, this is the wildest part about all of this is I will never make a record, a Drake record, a quintessential Drake record. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make a Kanye record. I'm not gonna do it. I'm only listen. Like they talk about me. You only talked about the same thing for the past. I am. I'm gonna keep on. That's it. True to what you believe. True to my core. I'm true to my core, and that's what I'm about. Like, I'm true to my core. That's exactly who I'm about. That's who I'm talking to every day. Every time I go, I'm only impressed and moved by what's going on outside, like that energy.
Now there's people who feel, and I want to be honest and put myself in this category. Okay. I have often questioned if you ever wrote for Kanye. That's me, only because, for no other reason except I know you're super talented bar-wise, and I know he's a producer and a rapper who delivers, so that is, that's asked. It's asked a lot, Yeah. I mean, do people come up and ask you that?
Yeah, but the wild part is people ask me, did I write things that I didn't touch? That's what's crazy. They be like, yo, I know you was in there. I was like, no, I didn't. And like, we'll be in here. We're in the studio. You, Kanye, me, engineers, whatever. Beats on, having a full conversation about how his raps come from conversation. Like, that's how he rhymes. Like, So, within that conversation, if you say something to strike something, he say something to strike something, whatever the case may be, he putting together, he's formulating right then and there. That's how it goes.
Making it a verse,
right?
Making it what he wants it to be.
Exactly. I mean, if you say, hey, yo, man, change that joint, or I don't know about that one. It's illa this way. Boom, boom. I'm not gonna say that I'm writing for him. I'm like, listen, and you gotta understand, I am
You're
from
vibing.
Yeah, and I'm from the Pharrell Williams, Neptune school of I'm trying to make a hit every 5 minutes. Don't you dare rap for too long on my records. Like, I'm from that school, so it's like, I know. I know that people say that and think that a lot, and that's so very, very wrong.
I thought it. Well,
think about it.
I thought my thoughts went away from it when you both came up and freestyled. Right, it went away from it. Prior to that, when I saw you got signed to Give Music, I was like, Pusha's dope, and his pen game mean. Like, they got to be utilizing that pen. That's what I thought. That was
It's energy, it's perspective. It's like, you know, man, I like for real. I go to him looking for hooks, like immediately. Like I'm not doing no hooks. That's not me. I'm not into it.
Pusha, correct me if this is, because this is my reasoning for why maybe I get so upset with the ghostwriting, because my understanding of help, and there's the line that's never been in paper, but my understanding is if you're a lyricist and you come and like how you were describing, if I'm writing and I got my rhythm, and somebody's helped me with a word or two or something that goes better, that's just you're collaborating, but it's still your verse, right?
Flex,
That's
don't
where I
let
come
Flex,
from.
don't be next to me and let me say trash. Like don't. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Don't
Now,
do that.
Now, I was under that assumption. I'll be honest with a lot of rappers. I mean, I'm under that assumption with a Puff or a Kanye that they dibble and dabble and there's somebody with rights or not rights but assist, right? So, I think the shocking point for me and why everyone mentions it is because the reference tracks were very surprising to me.
Right.
It was very shocking to me. And what probably shocked me more was not addressing it. That was shocking to me because even with the Little Kim reference tracks, which is, for people who don't know what we're talking about, there was and you know what? I feel there was a.
Listen, just think about this though. You look how far you got to go back to touch a reference.
Yeah, and even that and even that one, Kim's verse ended up being different. It wasn't the same, and I guess with the Quentin Miller part, and when I heard the ad libs, that bothered me, and there's a part of me that wonders. I'm assuming he didn't know, or did he know, or. You know what I mean? Like that part. That's the thing why we're even on this at the moment is because it's something we're not used to. Rap.
The thing about even Quentin, like, it's crazy because I feel like he's like super talented, right?
I did hear some of his music, which I thought was good.
He's like extremely talented, actually. I don't even know how me and Quentin even linked up.
So you spoke to him?
I got records with Quentin. Yeah, I got a what is it? Verse on, what is it? I don't know the name of it. Yeah, on one of the projects and everything.
You guys had conversation.
Yeah. But
got it.
No, but listen, nothing. It's facts. No, man. Listen, stop, man. No, I'm trying to tell you some real.
Tough.
Because
tough.
I told him not too long ago.
Some people listening to this are going, nigga, what the fuck you mean you fucking talking to this nigga?
No, man.
Nigga, what the fuck he said? He said you were talking to him. He said he heard your music. You bitch ass nigga.
No, man. This guy is so
Quit, you motherfucker! Took you out of Publix, you bitch.
No, man.
I don't even know.
Come on.
I mean, I know from your end it's probably music and
no,
creatively.
Listen, it is, and that's the thing, and the thing about it is like he's talented, and I've watched. He'd be like, "Yo, man, you think you could connect me, such and such," and I watch people wince when you mention his name.
I
and it's like,
and talk with him in my Twitter DM, and he had expressed he'd like to come for the freestyle. And I said, I'm whenever you want to, my brother. He said, all the bullshit aside. Yeah. I just want, as we said to me, he said, all the bullshit aside, I just want to come in.
He don't want no parts of it. It's now he's really trying to chase his dream, his way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if there was anything about, anything that it was like, that I didn't like about Infrared, probably would be that. Just because I know that somebody really is trying to do something outside of all this fiasco. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Push, when he said, and I don't remember if it was Complex, but there was a place where he had said, "Hey, I've seen Drake smoke a L and go in the booth." Was it open? His open letter? Now, it was a dead giveaway for me because I know in the studio, nobody has a new jack around when they're in that booth, unless you got something to do with something. And I mean, see, people are not just. I want to get away from Jake for a second. Not just the age now. Mm-hmm. For some reason, there is a okay or a check that it's okay for someone else to write for you, and you know something has happened with. I don't want to say it's a young thing or
It's the business, man.
and not
It's the business.
and it shouldn't be frowned upon. I don't want it to be frowned upon because there's a lot of good music that comes out that way.
Facts.
But I just want like when you know it takes away from some of the guys who are multi-talented and yeah they're selling records and maybe they're not selling records with the guy with the ghostwriter, but like I do feel it takes away from the game, man, and I do get disappointed when I hear that from. Have you ghostwritten for artists before?
Yeah, for sure.
No names, I guess, but a lot of them. If you had to say how many, if you had to say just a number, and is it ghost or there's your credits on it? Oh shit! Oh,
Do you even have like?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Fuck.
I mean, I just haven't seen credits on an album in a long time, so yeah. So
You feel like the nigga did it, though. You feel like he did it.
No, I hope, but you know.
How does that? Because this is something I don't know. In a ghostwriting situation, how does it start? Does the artist call you? Does the producer call you? Who calls you?
I've been called by labels to write.
Usually the label.
Yeah.
And then they send you over the song,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Do you know who it's for when you're writing
100%.
it? And then you write the whole song with the hook? Sometimes the hook's there?
If the hook's there, maybe. If not, you're not really getting many hooks out of me.
Oh, okay. You'll write some verses.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you write the verses, and then do you voice reference it?
Yeah, 100%.
And then you send it back.
Yep.
And then you hear it later on the radio.
Yes.
How do you look at it? Like when
listen,
you know what I mean?
I don't trip. I don't trip at all.
Does the artist ever call you and say, "Yo, that what you wrote was tough"?
Yeah, definitely. That was hot.
Okay. I mean, it does make me uncomfortable to hear that. Well, because I want to, you want to believe what you hear. You want to believe that artists are living it.
Not me. Not anymore. I don't believe anything anymore, Flex.
Because you see
Yeah. And it's like, listen, it's not even, I don't believe anything, and I'm really not tripping.
Now, I'm not saying, like, look, producers, though, that rhyme, I would expect you to write for them.
No. You better watch them. Producers that rhyme are the one, they get busy. They hear the music a different way than you do. They marry their music differently. I always say,
it different.
Ye, Pharrell, Jermaine Dupri will rap you out of house and home on any beat they produce and give to you. You know what I'm saying? They process it, the patterns and the where they lay on the beat differently. They hear it differently.
Have you ever written for a rapper that was considered a top 5 rapper?
No.
I feel better.
No. Come on, man.
I did. I was scared of your answer, but I ain't
No,
gonna
man.
lie.
No,
Took a
man.
buck.
Yeah,
I
no
was
way.
scared.
No way.
Okay, I feel better. Good, I feel good. I feel good. Okay, I feel good. So, I'm curious to know because and not just because Drake had mentioned it, but I was curious. Now, talk to me about your brother who he's no longer in the music business.
No.
Doesn't want to be. What made him not want to be anymore?
I feel like it was the different hiatuses that we were going through. It was the hiatuses we were going through.
Until you brought it up, I forgot.
You forgot about that, right?
Because
Crackers won't play Fair Jive.
In my
all
mind,
that.
you never really went away.
Oh, boy.
But see, you went away in terms of maybe having a big scale project.
Right.
But you never went
Right.
away to me as, and now that you say it, because we're in the internet age, I forgot.
Right.
You had those times off, and you had a couple label situations.
Facts.
Absolutely.
But I think it was between that, between the hard times of that and actually it was a big indictment that happened within our circle.
Were you included in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now, what time period we're talking?
April 2009.
Oh, recently.
2009 was 2018.
Yeah, but that's not.
9 years
That's
ago.
not. Yeah, that's not super long time ago.
Right.
Not.
So
I label anything. If the internet was rocking, it ain't that long ago.
So within that time, I guess all 9 people who came into the game with us.
Were they also doing music, or they were just in the street?
Managing,
Okay.
road managing in the street. I mean, it didn't stop. It hadn't stopped until
And this was where you're from, which is
Virginia. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is 2009. I don't think it stopped till maybe 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Was probably the last of the last, like, just remnants of being around.
Okay.
When that happened, I sort of feel like my brother looked at sort of the damage of that. Like, a lot of them have kids. I don't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
He has kids.
Did he have to do time? Did your brother?
No. Me nor my brother.
But you were around people who.
But everybody,
who got,
my manager.
Got you. Your guy.
Yeah, he went away. So and others. So with that being the case, I feel like my brother, he attributed a lot of that to the hiatuses and, like, okay, things got messed up. We, grinding, platinum, doing this thing. Okay, it all crashes. Back in the street. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay, so got it. So,
Yeah,
So during those hiatuses, survivals kicks in.
Exactly. And
Okay.
then and just it was just another layer for him because, like I said, they have kids, he has kids, the kids are Bible study together, boom, 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 boom. But now they dad gone, a couple dads is gone.
You think that changes his energy and his vibe?
100%.
And even and even not, will there ever be another Clips album?
Who knows, man?
It depends.
I mean, I would hope so one day.
Mhm.
But
How was Pharrell? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, how did you go from being in Pharrell's camp on the label to then Kanye's camp? Like, how did that? Were you no longer signed? Were you no longer someplace?
Yeah, that's what happened basically.
So this was, if I remember your last home, it was Arista?
No. I was Arista Jive, Columbia, correct?
Yep. Columbia.
Columbia was my last
So
one.
So Columbia, were you there with
09.
Pharrell, or you were there by yourself?
By myself.
Okay, you were there solo. And then how did that work? Like, was Pharrell happy for you when Kanye picked you up?
100%. Pharrell is my childhood friend.
Oh, okay. You
Like-
guys knew each other a long time.
Yeah, like up the street,
Okay.
like right there.
And-
So it's like, we when you see him around, you really just seeing him around.
This is rare that someone who's been in the game as long as you've been in and been doing it and had that respect to mash out an album like this, right?
Listen.
Like,
We were talking about it today.
It's rare. Like, this isn't like every day.
I don't know who been in 16 and
This is
one
the
of
one.
these?
Like, this is the one. No.
one of
no.
these.
They're not.
16 later.
No,
Bruh.
I don't know, man. Well, you
Bruh.
know what? There's been people who've had songs,
Yeah.
but not a project.
Right.
I let me see if I, you know, Pusha, I am sometimes disappointed in sometimes the way the veterans come forth. You know, if I had to say, I mean, just some. I don't want to be mean and name names, but I mean,
Don't.
I did like. I really enjoyed. I don't know if you know, and maybe because you're in it. You know, just the people I've talked to have been in the business a long time. I mean, you know, your album's giving life to people who. It's reinforcing. Follow who you are, and do what you feel you should do and how you want to be represented, and please your fan base. And I think a lot of artists have gotten away from that to search for a bigger fan base.
They really have, and that's what I run into that a lot. I run into that a lot, and I run into the you know, the side eye from that a lot. You know, I even during this whole little debacle.
At your listening party is the first time I really saw your passion.
Oh, okay.
Like I've seen it before, but you know, I look at stuff like, so I was watching just the way you was hitting them punchlines and the way you didn't even know the camera was on you.
No,
like but your energy was coming across as it was coming across very good. I mean, you've surprised a lot of people, my brother. You know, I don't even want to short change of you. Like you've always been dope, but you know, you really put you put out a dope project, took a swipe, and then ran up on someone on top. You know, this doesn't happen often. Did Meek's run in with Drake come across your mind anywhere in here?
It really didn't, and that was something else that Meek, for me personally, is like, Meek is like one of my favorite rappers, right? And he's one of my favorite.
Else is true to himself.
Very true to himself, but he, what do you call those? You call them spirit animals? When you say that somebody is like, when they like living, like they're living how, you know, like how I feel, like how I see it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Meek, you know, young rap, boom boom boom. I look at him and I'm like, this is the energy, this the energy I relate to. I can't do that no more, man. I can't. Y'all got it. But you know, but he has that energy. He has that swag, that energy, you know, to bring all your homeboys. You know,
you ever look at Meek's gram sometime before he got locked back up and say, this guy is on parole, isn't he? Like, you know, like his
but
like how hard he was going.
I'm gonna tell you something that's ill about that is, you can look at his gram and you can see old pictures and you see those old guys. Yeah. I love that. Like, I sort of felt like, me personally, that really got taken away from me in 09. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the people that you see me with, love them to death, whatever, I'm just talking about that initial.
The people you came in with.
Boom. It's different. I look at him and I'm like, bro, because I know where you're from. So I'm like, this is the energy.
You see
that
the Philly cats around him. The Philly cats are around him.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, I'm curious for your take on a couple of situations. So, how'd you like the J. Cole album?
Yeah, dope.
I liked it a lot as well.
I like Cole a lot. I personally like Cole a lot.
I'm a big fan of his. Maybe more so with this album because just 1985 really is something I really really liked.
That was dope. And this isn't my favorite Cole album. This isn't my favorite Cole album, and it's because
he's had been more melodic, maybe better songs he's had in the past.
Yeah, I feel like what Cole did was execute. He executed. I felt like he was experimenting and executed in the lane of what's sort of going on, and then he like stuffed it with steroids of, like, you know, information. My the Cole that I'm into, he has a whole sound within itself. I could hear the fusion in this one,
Yeah,
which was it was dope, and I feel like damn, you pulled it off. But
you felt like this was Cole that we love, but how he feels he should be seen in 2018.
yeah,
I felt that too.
Yeah.
And you know what? In all honesty, I think that some of his hardcore fans you know what? He might have lost a couple fans and gained some new fans with this album in it, because some of his hardcore were definitely like, oh well, is this? They were a little shocked, but then you feel like he brought some more people into the fold as he wouldn't drop this project. What did you think of the exchange with him and Little Pump? Have you ever listened to Little Pump's music?
yeah, Gucci Gang
Gucci Gang.
for sure.
And
My
then-
nieces are what?
What happened?
What my nieces turn from Gucci Gang in my car, bruh. Try it. Never happened.
It's not gonna happen. Not today. That was that. What did you think about that exchange? That whole like how they felt about each other. Like when you first saw it, you being Pusha.
I mean, I felt that it was I felt that it was Cole. It was dope for Cole to have that dialogue, and
Mini interview.
yeah, to have that interview, and to take it even further. I feel like why I'm here, like why I'm still in the game, is because I have embraced new eras. I feel like all of my favorites who I love, like forefathers of rap, I feel like their window was that big because they were really busy saying that y'all ain't better than us. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like that.
Little Yachty made me understand something. I was angry at him for the Biggie comment.
Oh,
he said
okay.
Biggie was overrated.
Right.
And after I got past that,
He told you he was 7 when Biggie was.
well,
Because how old was he?
man, how old could he have been, right? He
No, he was.
he was young.
What?
Me and him had got past that,
Right,
and then
right.
he wanted to come. I called him out on. I said something which he took. Maybe I was referring to him. This is afterwards. Like we had already talked about Biggie, but sometimes I could be a little aggressive, and I probably did have him in mind. And I think I added him on the gram in one of my talking about music that's not good.
Right.
So he said, "Don't start with me, Flex." Because I guess we was in a good place.
Right.
But sometimes I'm a sucker, so sometimes I'll do sucker shit. That was one of my sucker shit moments. Sucker moments.
Yeah, he's my man. Like I really rock with him.
So I said to him, somewhere it got to, he wanted to sit down. If you want to come up, you can freestyle. And I didn't expect him to take me up on it. And he did. But in conversating with him before and after Push, I kind of, Walker had mentioned this someplace, that he felt like the guys who've been in it a long time do not nurture the younger. And I didn't see it until with Yachty, because I could tell by some things he's asking me or his experiences. I'm like, man, I don't think anybody's ever really given him a 1-2 on this subject. And then I understand what Waka said, Waka Flocka, if people want to know, because I think there was a point where I thought maybe Waka was being bitter. And I think I mistaked his bitterness for, I think I made a mistake, and I think it was his, hey, guys of a certain era have not made an effort to put their arm around us. And now that when you said that too, I think I've been one of them too, because because the way I came up was a guy would let us be around him. And I'm sure you being around Pharrell, you learned what to do and what not to do.
Right.
And you probably learned from Pharrell, if you saw something Pharrell did, you was like, damn, why he do that? You may say, well, I'm not going to do that. But even just seeing him make a mistake helps you
For sure.
going forward. And I think that that's the way I was used to learning. And I guess, the times have changed and there's no real blueprint to how
That's the twist.
to
There
do this.
is no blueprint. And if you're talking about the youth, these kids are teaching themselves. So that's where the arrogance comes into play. That's where the I don't care about what happened before. I sat here in my room. I made this beat on my computer. I FaceTimed and tweeted and did da 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 and built my fan base. I did it. I really did it. Yachty is like what was creative director for what? Nautica. Yachty is the creative director for Nautica, a brand that I would die for as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he did that from being him. And it's like, you gotta respect that. Like, that's what it is for me.
There is a what do you call it? Not time, but there's a gap, right? There's something like there's a like even Drake referencing, oh, you older than the dude you running behind.
Right.
But he's not far behind. Like you know what I mean? Like music was always just music, but now it's like there's a is it me or there's a bars and is it a trap? There's something. There's a separation. What would you call it?
Man, I feel like the separation happens when you don't go outside no more. Mm-hmm. Like I learned a long time ago that you can appreciate anything that you are in the mix of. If you are in the mix, I'm gonna tell you, I learned it. I learned it in the Bay, in the Bay Area. I used to sit home watch Rap
Why
City.
the Bay? Were you?
I'm gonna tell you, I used to sit home watch Rap City or Yo MTV Raps and be pissed in Virginia, pissed off when they would play like a Bay set of videos. I'd be like, why is this shit?
What is
this?
this?
Is stupid. Whatever. Boom, I get in the rap game. I go to the Bay. Long, pretty girls, long hair, making ugly thiz faces, the hyphy movement. Best thing I've ever experienced in my life. Never, just that energy and being in amongst it and being like.
When you're in the club and it comes on, those records or something else, it's another experience.
When
it's
you're there,
experience.
you can't watch it from home, and that's how it is with people. Like you cannot, the trap disconnect or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not gonna really say it's a disconnect because, man, I go outside, and when you go outside, you can see how those kids react to these records. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in the mix of it. I mean, I say, listen, if you go there and you don't like it, then you just don't like it. But a lot of people are saying that from their couch. You can't do that. Like you gotta.
You know what? I didn't like Country Grammar Nelly, right? And at the time, I was hosting something on MTV, and I threw a swipe, and Nelly didn't get mad at me. You know what he did? He said, "I'm having a birthday party. I want you to DJ." So I'm thinking,
bruh, I already know. I already know.
I'm thinking, all right.
I already know.
So I go out there, my brother.
Right.
And then, first of all, there was, I'm a muscle car guy. So there was only Buicks, Oldsmobiles, and Pontiacs.
So you already locked in. You locked in off. You locked in off rip. You ain't
Yeah,
even
so
DJ yet.
yeah, so in my mind, I'm like, well, this is in those particular cars where I'm from is like a status.
Right.
But these kids have them just happening. And then I go to the club. I think the cops had shut the street for them.
Wow.
And then I go to the club. It's like 4,000 in, 4,000 outside.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, is there something I don't understand here? And I'm playing in the club and I'm throwing on the joints, man. They're just crowding around him. And so I was like, I understood his movement. And I do agree with when you see something or you feel something, it's definitely a different experience in comparison to, watching it on the tube.
Wow.
Unreal. Do you think that well, I mean, we talked about Drake, but you know the Wayne swipes were hard, bro. Like meaning I'm only saying is like, well, is this really? It stems from that feeling of back then, which was maybe 06.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's like, you know,
He ever reach out to you?
nah, I just seen Baby the other day.
Does Baby ever bring up like
Yeah, I mean,
you swiped him too?
yeah, I know, I seen him. I just seen him the other day, man.
When you say you seen him, so you were just hanging out someplace club?
I was in LA. I was in the elevator. We were in the elevator together.
What part of town?
In Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. So in the elevator, you say what's up, he says what's up.
Yeah, he said, what's bracking?
What does that mean?
You know what, Flex?
You not
At
sure?
41 years old,
You're
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
You're not sure.
I don't know. What's bracking? You good? Yeah, I'm good. You sure? I'm positive.
So you felt energy.
Yeah.
You
But
felt
I mean,
felt energy, which you expected, I guess.
it's different for me with that. Like, I don't, bro, I'm built different. Like, you already lost me talking in, like, child slang, and I know you 60, and I gotta look at you. Now
I gotta be honest with you. I thought that was funny, but I didn't laugh because he's my man.
That's funny.
Yeah, am I being honest? It was funny his delivery, but I didn't laugh because I was like, Bird's gonna say what? Like you fucking laughed at me, and I don't. It was funny, but you see,
for real, like I said, it's always been competitive music. Once it get past, like, man, I know street shit. I know all that shit, man. Like,
we ain't there. That's not what
man,
we had competitive music.
Yes, like what? What's wrong?
I mean, we had competitive music. That can happen without us being mad at each other. I'm okay with people want to compete too. I'm all right with it. I'm like, I'm not, you know.
And nobody over there rapping, so like, what are we even really comparing about, like, right now? I'm not even, all right, cool, yo. Like.
You heard Wayne on that record, bro. I'm going to keep going back to that, because, yo, what was the line?
But it was about the perspective, though. The whole issue was.
The line, wait, there's the line where you say.
Platinum rapper can't retire.
Yo, bro.
Yeah.
Yo.
You know why? Because I'm tired. I want to be.
But he wants to say, yo,
listen.
What the fuck you pointing that shit at? I'm trying to get my little 20 grand and go the fuck home. Like,
yo, no, but I'm tired.
Yo, bro.
Flex,
that hit me
tired.
like, oh.
Because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't imagine. I just couldn't imagine selling 15, 20, 30 million records. I can't imagine doing that many and being here. Playing. Playing? Playing?
We gonna have, I'm going to say
Bruh.
it. I'm going to say it. And Wayne going to get mad at me and I'm going to say it because I've been dying to say it. Wayne could make 5 records. He could promote them and do them without a label, without anything, because the internet is your label. And he could put out his music and get on his grind and see what he got left. See if there's any gas left in his tank.
You know how hard that sounds to me?
What?
For him. Now, like, you know, I mean, listen, talk, you say what you want to say, but this is Lil Wayne, you know, Carter, you know, record sales.
Even you, Pusha, I felt watching.
But I've been hustling the whole time.
But I felt like I felt new artists hustle from you this album. I felt from seeing you at the man, you ain't got to go to a listening party, my nigga. You could toss the album out. You ain't got to go.
Nah, man.
But you know what I mean. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Right, no,
if you were not there, nobody would have been like, oh, Pusha's not here. They'd be like, yo, they're going to let us hear the album on the label. Now, you know, we're in a business where you got to reinvent yourself every 6 months. You can not 100% reinvent, but, you know, you could probably look at a picture of yourself from a year ago. You're probably not wearing the same shit, talking the same shit, or making the same music a year ago.
Facts.
So, I think what I look at when I see Wayne and Bird or whatever, I mean more of, you pointed a light on something But it's because he hasn't reinvented himself. Really, all of those things are happening because he hasn't said, hey, I'm going to do this or do that or move differently. And look, everybody has their gripe about Bird not getting paid, right? That's the consensus, right? You know, to me, it's like, if you're one or two people who haven't gotten paid, you know what it is when you sign after that. No? I mean, so sometimes when I hear people complain, I go, but you knew that was going on over there. Why would you, like, you know, if it hasn't changed to be different, right? Now, me, and I know I'm going to get paid, I'm going to be like, all right, let's make some dope shit. Khaled, you know, I'm going to stay here for as long as it works for me. And then I'm going to move on to something else that I feel is better for me when this situation isn't working for me. But I'm not going to cry. You know, that's the part, you know, I got to be honest, I find annoying is when I hear people crying.
See, I don't know. Ain't nobody ever owed me millions and millions of dollars. You owe me millions and millions of dollars, bro. I might cry. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ain't nobody ever owed me that much money. I might cry, Flex. I might cry. I done heard the tune of them numbers, bruh. I might cry, Flex. Are you bugging? And I'm doing a hosting. Where? Elizabeth, New Jersey. When? Are you bugging?
Like, me and you are similar in something. I'm going to tell you why. Because I can see on your face you're remembering, Nikki, you said you was hot. You said you was hot at me. You couldn't remember what the fuck I did. Nigga, what you doing now? Like,
wow. That's just,
right?
I'm talking real though. Like man, I would cry, man. Like I can't.
It's enough millions to cry?
Yeah, it's enough millions to cry. It's enough millions to cry, man. I mean, this day and age, man. I mean, you know, we love it. We watch it.
How does that happen when somebody just doesn't pay you the money that you need?
I have no clue.
You wonder, like, how did that happen?
I have absolutely no clue. I might have in my notes right now some old money written down that I might need. Like, because you saying this, I'm gonna ask him where this is at. He either gonna tell me I paid it. Look, we paid it. Call the accountant. She should have had it, and I didn't check it off. I don't know.
I'll be honest, my nigga. I didn't think it would end like this.
I didn't.
No, I did not. The way it was going, it was going nuts. It was moving. The records, Drake, Nicki. There's a lot of money out here.
Lit. It's lit.
I don't think Bird's broke. It's impossible to be broke when you have those type of artists.
It doesn't make sense to me. It wouldn't make sense.
It's not adding up to you.
No, that doesn't add up to me. It doesn't. It's cool for raps though.
It's good.
This should be cool.
It gives you plenty of content.
Yeah, give me content.
But okay, now where do you stand on? Because I would like, not necessarily answer, but I want to see Kanye poke his head out with a couple slick verses. I do. I do. Why? You think that won't happen?
No.
You think it shouldn't happen, or like just
I don't want him to.
You just leave it.
I don't want him to. I want him to high road all the way to the bank. He always high roads. Don't. You know. You know what? I want my samples. I want my sample kicks. I want my stuff. Like I want my record produced. I want the next one produced.
Now, where do we go now in the art of competition?
What do you mean?
Meaning now, it's a competitive sport. Now, is it that Kanye shouldn't compete because he's a producer? Because Drake took a swipe at him, more so at him than at you.
I know.
He put a lot of his energy into him.
He did
on that song.
That's why I think it was a real estate issue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's why the real estate issue is like.
Got it. Got it. I mean, did you and Kanye talk about the song at all?
No, never.
No. So did you and
he has no clue.
The Drake song?
He has no clue. Listen, my phone. Look at my phone.
So wait. So Drake said anything about him? He never nothing. Drake didn't like. He doesn't even. He has not had any conversation with you about what Drake said about him.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. But he's, bruh.
It's not where he's at.
No. No. Like,
Now, how was it for you and being, because I've not paid attention to some of the rounds that you've made, so
I ain't been nowhere. Flex,
No.
I just got here today.
I mean, I know other people probably asked you, but
I
I'm
flew from
curious.
LA and I
So,
came straight to you, bro.
when Kanye is moving around in the social space, so when Kanye's like, just moving around, conversating, and the TMZ.
Say it, Flex. Say it, Flex.
No,
Go ahead, Flex.
Say
it, Flex.
When he's being opinionated,
Yes,
he's giving
Flex.
his opinion.
Yes,
how
Flex.
does it for you? I mean, does it bounce off you? Do people approach you?
What
How
do
do you
mean?
feel?
The world approaches me. What do you mean? I'm the president of good music. Of course.
I'm starting to count your money.
Of course it happens.
I forgot President Good Music.
That's why you don't gotta put out.
That's why you're not putting out
music. Works a little bit.
Yeah. That's a nice. What are you talking this shit about? When you supposed to say, nigga, nigga supposed to give you a job. You're supposed to be able to crack into some budgets.
Yo.
Damn, Wayne.
But no, people approach me about it all the time. Me and him have extremely different views. I disagree with him.
You conversate with him about it, or you guys just keep it moving?
Hell yeah, we talk about it. He brings me all of those issues. We always speak about it, and he knows my stance too. Like, I was running with the Hillary campaign, just prison reform, so he knows that, like,
Karen Civil.
Well, exactly, like the whole thing.
Karen. Yo, Karen, geez, wow. Remember when Karen used to be up here? Pusha T flex! I felt like before she met you, bro. Oh my God, she's like, yeah, but Pusha, he's coming with something. I was like, wow, she's really on this, right? She's keeping on the radar. I lost my train of thought, but there's something I wanted because I wanted to get to with Kanye. Kanye did say something. He said something that, I'll be honest, I've been a little bit afraid to repeat, but it's been on my mind.
What's that?
But he touched on something that I feel like is very true, and it got swallowed up with the whole what he said about slavery and whatever.
I know what you're about to say.
He said, as black people, sometimes we stay too long at looking backwards or going backwards. And, after a couple days after it cleared, I was like, man, we do that, man. We do that.
We when we have our conversations, it's a lot of those points that I'm like, I'm sort of with you on that. And it wasn't for me, it wasn't that per se. What he said was, man, I want to know about the history. He was like, no, I think he said, I ain't thinking about the history, but I would like y'all to tell me how Magic made $1 billion. And I sort of felt him on that. Now, I don't feel like you can, you have to know the history. But we do spend a lot of time, less time learning about how to get it. And I felt him on that. So I'm like, yo, bro, like, it's the messaging in which you got to message yourself.
TMZ was the wrong platform, and TMZ got mad at me because I said what I said. But
I don't talk to TMZ.
They don't. They're not going to. I didn't think they were going to overdo to put him in a good light. Even in the stuff that he did that make, that's not the clip that they used. And I mean, I would have liked to have seen. He also mentioned about black on black crime, and he said, black people kill each other every day. It doesn't get mentioned. And I hope I'm saying that right. He said something like that. But then we're up in arms when the killing is against two different races, and I believe that, man. We could do better. We could do better, man. We could do better. And I do hate sometimes going backwards. And please, people don't take this as I'm saying, the slavery.
No, nobody's saying that.
You know what? I want to, to be honest, I don't know what slavery was like. I want to, I really don't. I don't know what that felt like. I don't know what it was. I didn't know how it came about. I don't know how, when there was freedom, how people moved afterwards. I really don't. I can read and look, but that's my relatives. I don't know. My family's Jamaican, so I don't know what those things are. And I know he caught a lot of flack for that. So you're saying you caught a little, you was getting some of that.
Listen, I mean, think about it. We're doing these albums. They're coming out incredible. Loving these records. I'm like, okay, boom, we got to put these joints out. With this, how we gonna do it? And he goes on TMZ and says, this. I was drunk.
You see that was drunk?
No liquor, just drunk. Like, yo.
You shot?
All right, yeah. I'm like, bro, so this is going to be the narrative. And I'm the first album coming out. This is going to be the narrative. That
album pierced through all of that, though.
Well, I wasn't going to talk anyway. I wasn't talking until the day of. I didn't say one word. We didn't speak about the album. I couldn't. I didn't think I could break through. And I couldn't, not without having a single, not without having a record. It didn't have anything. So nothing was going to be louder than that. And I was like, all right, bro.
What's the next project out of Good Music?
Yay drops June 1.
June 1st. That's what? That's in a week.
Yeah.
Right?
3 days, bro.
Friday?
Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
Real estate.
I did not like those 2 installments he gave me. I want to be honest. What was he gave me one thing, that wasn't, and then there was something else. There was something else, right?
The thing with T.I.?
T.I.
I didn't like. See, I don't want to say like. I wasn't. I don't want to say like. I want to be.
I think Kanye with the Lift Yourself record, man, was.
That's what it was called.
Lift Yourself, yeah, but I feel like with that, you saw how like the track was fire.
Yeah, but there's no words.
There was no words, and he was basically playing, and just that just showed you. I'm just trying to show you where he is right now, bro.
He has fans, and they want music from him.
No, they don't. Listen, they're about to get something. What I'm trying to tell you is,
it's gonna be something.
It's really a thing. It's a real thing. Real estate. The real estate of June is a problem.
Oh, because there's a few projects coming out in that month.
All his. The sound. You got music that's now, you got the Pusha T Street joints. Boom, boom, boom. Now you got the Kanye Eclectic. Still hard.
What comes after that?
Cudi and Kanye, June 8th.
I really want to hear that, bro.
And you got Nas the 15th.
You know what makes me want to hear it? I remember at the fashion show. And just their excitement to be around each other, what they were doing, the way they were bopping, the way they were bouncing, and the way they were moving in that video.
I'm trying to.
I really like that. That excited me. What else is coming? What's after that?
That's where we at. What? That's where we at.
Wait, Tiana. Tiana. Why? Who's she married to? Okay. Why do I always get her and the other girl confused? Just the name-wise, not look-wise. The one that just had the problem with 50.
Oh, Tierra Marie?
Tierra Marie, and there's Tiana. Why is that confusing to you? They don't look alike, do they?
Not at all.
Okay. Then why am I? Are they in the same label?
And she's last.
The T's.
The T's.
Gotta be the T's.
All right. Well, Pusha, I know I kept you for a long time, and I enjoyed our conversation. I do enjoy this whole bar thing back and forth. Listen, I think Drake held his own on his comeback with you.
That was cool, bro.
I do think he held his own. I think your response is you've taken it up another level.
Okay.
So, I'm curious to see where it goes now.
Hey, man.
I am. I'm going to tell you how I think this is going to pan out. Want my prediction?
You tell me.
I've been telling people, I think it's going to end in a draw. I'm going to tell you why.
I think it's going to end in Daytona being the album of the year.
That's already out. That's already out of here. That's moving.
Daytona album of the year.
that's already moving. But I mean, bar wise,
Yeah.
you know, when I say bar wise, meaning everything else is going to be subject to just opinion of people's. You know, there's no referee. So that's what I think is going to, how this whole thing is going to end up. What'd you think about when you heard that second song that he put out? Were you wondering what that was? What was I forgot? What's it called?
I'm upset.
Oh, that wasn't good. Not to me.
Pusha say shit with a straight face, right? Like from the heart. Nah, it wasn't right. It wasn't
No,
right.
I mean, you know, the music energy of this month, man. I'm sorry. Like, you see the bar. The
bar is high, my
the
nigga.
bar is Daytona. Like, that's where the energy
No,
is.
the bar.
Like production level, this
Now,
is what it is.
You know,
like,
you know what album you hurting? That's a good album, man,
What?
but you smothering it.
What?
Rocky, ASAP Rocky.
Oh, no. Rocky, yeah. Rocky
had a
joint is
good album,
Yeah,
but you smothered him.
Rocky album
You
is
smothered
good.
him.
Rocky album good, for sure.
Like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Meaning, not that I was always used to something different from Rocky. You know, I was always used to something just different. When I say different, I think that he has fans and people like his music, but sometimes it wasn't the music that I liked. You know, but he has a broad fan base.
His base
But
is serious.
he switched up
Yeah.
on this album,
Listen.
but it's not getting seen and heard the way it should. I'm gonna tell you the song on there, Tony Tone.
Listen, man.
Is that it?
Just so you
Tone,
know.
or there's Tony Tone.
It's a slow one, yeah.
Just so you know, look, testing. That's the last one I just I put. Look, I know. Like,
If he
shout out
didn't
to
come out
Rocky.
this week, you know he here to live.
He gonna live anyway. He do his thing.
He's taking time, bro.
Listen,
He would have
man.
lived. He was having one of those moments.
Nah.
That one, and there's another record on that album. There's like, he had like 4 I really like on there, man. A good tempo. Congrats to you, my brother.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
sir.
the chat.
Come on.
Yes,
On
sir.
good.